Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Gamestah TV and our broadcast of the second round of qualifiers for the E-League Gamestah Spring Series Overwatch First Division. It's quite a mouthful, but boy, is it a fantastic game, and we're hoping to make it a fantastic series as well. My name is Crisis. Welcome in, everybody that has tuned in. Thanks for tuning in. And let's hope that today the proceedings go a bit smoother than yesterday. We had a couple of tech issues yesterday. We had a couple of format issues as well. But hopefully we have sorted them out. To start off with, a huge thank you to all of our captains that participated yesterday, and some captains that are participating today as well. We had a great meeting last night on the Gamestah Discord, and we took in your input and together decided exactly what we were going to be doing with the format today to avoid some of the mishaps from yesterday. So to clarify exactly what we're doing today, we have a Swiss format bracket using Challenger's Swiss brackets. There are going to be 8 rounds. That's a fixed number of rounds. We will play out all 8 rounds. And at the end of 8 rounds, if there are any tied participants, the tiebreaker that we'll use is the wins versus tied participants calculation only. That's the only tiebreaker we'll use, no bush hold or anything like that. And if there are still tied participants where they have exactly the same wins versus tied participants ratio, we will then have a round robin matchup between all of the teams that have tied in that way to determine exactly who is going to be proceeding through into First Division. So any questions about that, fire away in Discord, and well, if you're a captain, fire away in Discord, and we'll answer the questions and make sure everybody's on the same page so we avoid the same confusion as we had yesterday. And as I say, thanks again to the team captains that provided input that helped us come to the decision as to how to handle ties. Talking about First Division qualifiers, of course, after yesterday's 8 rounds, we had 3 teams already qualifying and going through into First Division. Congratulations to Jam Gaming, Kick or Be Kicked, and Alter Ego, who all made it through into First Division. And today, we're going to have another 3 going through after our Swiss bracket qualifiers. And it's going to be a great time to bring things through today. Well, that's it for the intro. Let's go to our cast of casters, and we'll introduce each once more. We have Bobby J joining us. And Bobby J, it was a good day yesterday, hoping for an even better day today. All right, joining Bobby J is All G, and All G, I guess it could be a risky strategy for Tempo Storm holding off until Qualifier 3 next Sunday. They lose out on the opportunity today. What do you think of that approach? Well, of course, it's one way of assuring that you don't have to go up against the strong teams. With Jam already qualifying, Kick or Be Kicked already qualifying, and Alter Ego qualifying, we're going to have another 3 cream skimmed off the top. And that means potentially the competition for Tempo Storm will be reduced. But they might be in for a shock surprise if they stumble at all next week. Now, yeah. We turn, go for it, Bobby. They might want to swap names with Kick or Be Kicked. So next coming up, we've got the first of our two rookies, and he's going to be helping us out in the lobbies, putting together the lobbies through the day. Genome, how's it going, Genome? How did you find yesterday? All right, fantastic. And there was some really good feedback about you guys. You, together with our other rookie, Xenox. G'day, Xenox. And did you get any blowjobs from your fan club last night? All right, fantastic. So just a quick little change in terms of who we're going to be casting, although we haven't really announced just yet who it is exactly. So that's all good. Yeah, Xenox, I was saying to EJ, you know, it was the raffle that we did yesterday. It couldn't have worked out better if I'd actually rigged it, because it went to one of your fan club, Bifster. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get ourselves ready now for our next, for our first match. And as we get those things organized, I'm just going to hand it over to you, Bobby J, for a bit while I get the overlay sorted out, that sort of thing. Good luck to all the teams from me as I slink back to my production desk. Bobby J, if you can take it away.
Welcome back. Sorry about that. Just some audio technical difficulties as we're switching teams around at the start here. We originally had Abyss up first, but we had to switch up teams. So we're back here again. So I'm just going to go back with Xenox was giving us his three teams that he was predicting to go through. Just reiterate what you were just saying before, Xenox, and then same with you, Genome.
Yeah, as I was saying before, I think a Vanguard is a little bit unknown at the moment due to the fact that really they haven't played in recent weeks or recent months. And so we're not 100% sure, I guess, where they're at, even though they were kind of top of the power rankings for a while. And as we saw yesterday with Aftermind, finished, I think, 4th or so. So I expect them to go through. And probably the surprise packet from yesterday that I think could go through today is Boosted Animals. They performed really well, in that tiebreaker part of the end of the day. So I'd be expecting them to go through as well.
And then what about you, GNM? Just reiterate what you were just saying before.
Yeah, so I think Aftermind had a really strong showing yesterday, and I think they'll definitely get through today. Second, I'm placing Skyfire, just because I think they had a rough day yesterday, definitely could have done better. They got on tilt a bit, but I think they'll come back today, play to their potential, and get through. And third, I think, is a bit of a toss-up between probably Avant-Garde and HKS. But HKS have added Sligeorge and Lush to their team, both really strong players, and I think they're going to push them over the edge to get in over Avant-Garde today.
And then what about you, Gaima? You're definitely very familiar with both of these teams right here at the moment, Tainted and Riotous eSports, but also we've got another 11 teams as well today. So what's your take on the current team listings today, qualifier number 2?
Yeah, it's kind of hard for me to predict, to be honest. I think Aftermind will take the top spot today, as they looked really strong yesterday. But as my colleagues have said, Avant, we haven't seen a lot of. I would typically tip Avant to play very well, but I just can't know with how little they've been playing lately. And then coming in alongside that, there's so many good teams. Boonsted, Skyfire, HKS, Abyss, all of those can make it. As well as others, so it's going to be really close today, I think.
And last but not least is my compadre for this game. So we're getting straight into it right now into Hanamura. So as we're loading in all G, who are your 3 teams, mate? You've seen a lot of these teams over the course of the last couple of months.
We have seen them quite often, and as reiterating on what the boys have said on the desk, Avant-Garde, haven't really seen them much yet, but obviously full of talent in that roster, so they probably could be the dark horse today. If I had to pick 3 who I think would go through, Aftermind yesterday, for me, almost certain to go through. Had a great day yesterday. Unlucky not to make it through, but I'm sure they'll find their feet today. HKS as well, very similar story, coming up very huge in a lot of those games, playing extremely well. And actually Boosted Animals as well, I think kind of took everyone a little bit by surprise yesterday with their very aggressive playstyle and their strong Winston play. So I reckon Aftermind, Boosted Animals, and HKS for me, Bobby J.
And we're here inside Hanamura. We haven't had Hanamura for a very long time, as the 2 CP maps, the assault maps, have been added in to the map pool now, as it has around the rest of the competitive scene internationally. So we're here with the E-League Gamestah Spring Series qualifiers, day number 2. Another 3 teams will be heading into the Spring Series, which will be starting about a week and a half, and right at the very end of September. I think the 30th of September is the first day. It's whatever the last Thursday of the month is. So I'm definitely excited for that, and I assume you are too, all G, as we see some interesting lineups here. Coming from the attacking side, they've opted with a Mercy instead of they've also got a Bastion there.
Yeah, the Bastion. We saw the Bastion yesterday, so we can't actually cross it out for anything. But what's actually surprising me is there's Snowblind on this Tracer on defense, which is quite interesting. Obviously trying to flank around there and apply a little bit of pressure to the back line, maybe break them up a bit before they can get a chance to move through.
They've gone straight in. The wall did not cut them off, and they've gone all the way up to the right-hand side here. Has Riotous eSports. Tainted definitely know where they are, but just corner them around here, surrounding the building. As Riotous have gone up here, they're going to the top part of the map here on their right-hand side, looking for an entryway in. Tainted have retreated on to the point here. I think he's popping down some shots, mobbing up the top there.
Yeah, they're kind of just held up here at the moment. Pezza on this May actually had a very close duel with Snowblind one-on-one on the Tracer, making sure that he could get through and apply all that pressure that they're looking for. But Snowblind at the moment really putting down some pain.
And they're moving straight into the checkpoint now, but they've walked into their own May wall, but Bentley's had enough of that. He charges in, but he gets the wall. Mungo's right there in his face. And the rest of his team is just a little bit split up from him at the moment. He's been taken down because of that. Mouse does get killed off of Kenny though. But the rest of Tainted Minds are ready to clean up.
Yeah, they're slowly picking off one by one, but here comes the resurrection from it. Looks like the fight's going to keep going.
And he did a good job there, Brook, back to the rest of his team, but Miles got caught off with that May wall, and he was separated from his team. He's been taken down. Mercy's without a partner now, and she's going to be cornered there by the May. Frozen solid.
Yeah, that May, the slow that she puts down can freeze you up so quickly, and a really easy job there for the Tainted Minds on defense here, just to finish them off one by one. And I really like this Tracer pick actually. It's so mobile, and her ultimate gets charged up so quickly on defense that, you know, it's such a small area for you to capture here. You can get a good pulse bomb on people. You can wipe up at least 2 or 3 people with that.
Mungo is in very good shape right now. He just picked up a triple kill just before in the last exchange. So his ultimate is up now, so you're looking for the pulse snowblind to charge up that pulse bomb really quickly. It doesn't take too long, all G, to get that pulse bomb happen. Yeah,
if you can hit every bullet when out of your magazines with Tracer, it goes up very, very quickly. So as we look here on the left on Tainted Minds, they got 3 ultimates up. They're putting them all down though.
And they got straight into the surge right there, but Thousands right above them for the rocket barrage. Doesn't pick up anyone. Zero's done a very good job to keep people alive. And then he comes with the res, they bring everyone back up, and they've successfully held that on there.
Yeah, really good hit time to use the res there. Just make sure you get everybody up as quick as possible, because the walk back here from the first checkpoint is such a long way. They really need to stay together as a group for as long as possible. But Tainted Minds, gee, really looking the part at the moment on this defense here on Hanamura.
Only a minute and 15 left to play here for Riotous eSports to get in there and get the first checkpoint. But Tainted Minds, great job. No, I just hits the wall there with his face, but he's still keeping himself in check. He's a little bit embarrassed. He's gone to the left-hand side of the line. The Earth Shatter comes in from Bentley as the shield wasn't there from the right. He's automatically taking that D field, so that's going to play a big part with that May wall blocking them. They're going to move forward now. They're going to the left-hand side of the map here, the offense, and they're looking to be able to get in now, but the defense is slowly coming around behind them. No one takes out Bentley, so that's their main tank being put down as the May here for Riotous eSports is being caught out. Hits the wall, able to escape, but the rest of his team are already been split up as Kenny and Snowblind have been picking them apart.
Yes, Kenny and Snowblind just discording people and picking them off one by one here, and this defense here by Tainted Minds is so effective, especially having you know, the resurrection as well from Zero. As long as he stays safe, if they get wombo comboed out, which is what I feel like the Riotous are trying to do, the resurrection is just so powerful. So they've only got 10 seconds left. They're going to have to go in here and really try and make some moves here.
Yeah, 6 seconds to play here, and they're going to have to dive in, and that's what they're going to do. As Farrell's getting ready to touch base, Winston's the first one to get there along with Lucio. They're finally on there, but they've gone straight into a Graviton surge, and this is where they're going to try and be picked apart here. As they've been surrounded, but they've done a good job to come out of it as they've been fought in. Until they take the still alive, and then Noah seals the deal with a nice Earth Shadow.
Yeah, good hold there by Tainted Minds. Unfortunately, you know, Brookback had his resurrection there ready to go, but he just got caught in the Graviton surge, I believe it was. So, lucky for them, they're going to have to put a big showing up here on the defensive points here in Hanamura, round 1.
Yeah, good start for Tainted Minds. Had some, had an interesting day for them yesterday. They were up and down. They were 1 win away from getting into a tiebreaker situation. So, you know, they'll be looking to qualify today, which is what they've done so far, with a really good start here in Hanamura.
Yeah, they're definitely coming out today with something to prove. They played fairly well yesterday, finishing up in the middle of the pack, just outside that qualification range, as you said, Bobby. So they're obviously, you know, raring to go, and you can see it by the way they're defending there on that first point in Hanamura. It looks like at the moment that Snowblind may actually be staying on this Tracer on attack as well. So it'll be interesting to see if they go for a bit of more of a dive comp sort of situation here, just to sort of get in and get on that point. I really liked how Riotous, the first push they did, you know, they all grouped up very well and went up to the right-hand side and got up to that top section. And that was where they probably looked the best all round, because after that, unfortunately, they couldn't really, you know, stem anything together. They got caught out a couple of times, they grouped up and just took too much pressure from the Tainted Minds team. So I'd like to see them, you know, really stay together and make sure they move together as a unit and try and block off some of these flanking spots.
We've seen a similar setup to this. I don't think Mungo's going to go with that Torbjorn, but Before the setup they had before was pretty much like I can't remember what team it is. I think it was Ninjas in Pajamas. They had a similar setup when I was watching them in Hanamura the other day.
Yeah, is that the one with the two Mays that they were playing with?
No, they had they had the Tracer and Genji here on offense, and they had the Winston, Zarya, Lucio, Zenyatta combo.
Ah, okay, so just the double flank and pressuring really hard from the get-go.
Yeah, there was no covering your team. You're just going in and straight to the point, just looking for the kills.
Yeah, well, on this map especially, this choke here is so devastating. You just want to get in there. So, yeah, getting as much flanking potential as you said here with the two offensive characters really working out.
Wasting no time here, Tainted Minds to go straight to the point. They had the Mei wall originally in their way, but Chenny picks up the double kill already. Brookback already trying to charge that ult, almost at 50% already. Tainted Minds have been caught off a little bit there with that Mei wall. He's just freezing Chenny right above him, but Chenny does a good job of surviving, gets the pick instead. The surrounding Bowels right now. Brookback's on the side, and he gets picked off. Unfortunate for him, and Tainted Minds going to successfully cap the first checkpoint in the first push.
Oh, look how easy that was. As we said, we briefly touched on this yesterday, Robbie, that on these assault maps, confidence is really key. If you get bogged down in the choke points and take your time getting this first checkpoint, it can really set you up for failure. And you can see by the two different comps that they're running, Tainted Minds really just full of confidence, dashing out there and said, yeah, we're capping this point straight away.
And Zero here, play of the match on the Mercy. I wonder if this would be the first. Yeah, this is in the first checkpoint here, as his team got caught in a graviton surge, and just a lot of things going down. Just held his own there, wasn't really getting the range of fire, and just able to raise his team and just keep the pressure on.
Yeah, his healing there actually managed to keep a lot of them alive through that initial burst that Bales was putting down. So really good chance to resurrect there and just keep them all alive, and it worked out for him.
So Gaimer, that was a nice quick game there from Tainted Minds, looking very good so far today.
Yeah, definitely. They looked so dominant coming into there, and part of that was whenever Tainted really started to be overrun, Zero played some great Mercy and brought in some really nice reses, and as a result, it was actually really tough to beat them. And Riotous didn't really have the resurrects to combat that. You talked about when they lost that first half, that they actually had a Mercy res on their offense, but they didn't use it because their Mercy was dead. And I think that's really where Tainted got a leg up, because Zero just managed to stay alive and keep his res up so often.
Genome, what are your thoughts on the game, mate? Very quick game.
Yeah, Gaimar's right. Zero is a great Mercy, and we really saw the difference between him and Riotous there. They did a good job of getting in on the point. They got in there like 2 or 3 times, which I've seen many Hanamura games where you don't even get past the gate. So they did a good job there, but to win that first point, you've either got to get in and then win the fight, which they weren't able to do. I think Tainted Minds definitely had the skill advantage over them there and out-frag them. But you can still get there with a Mercy res, even if you don't win that fight initially. But as we said, their Mercy was just getting picked off too early, and they couldn't manage that. And that said, even D-Field looked pretty awkward on the Mei, really. He clearly didn't know the freeze distance. He kept trying to freeze people when they were way too far away. But it's funny that Mei is such a prominent pick on Hanamura now, just for that first ice wall that you see people who probably don't even practice on her very often playing. So yeah, funny to see that come out.
Xenox, we just saw Tainted Minds there looking to turn around what happened yesterday to them, in a very unfortunate turn of events for them yesterday. So looking to keep themselves focused today.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, the result here is probably not too much of a surprise, considering the fact that Tainted Minds beat Riotous yesterday as well. So it's a bit of you got to win it, and they did, and then now move on to the next round and just keep getting those wins.
And then with the rest of the teams starting to put their results in, we've had Team Skyfire beat Boosted Animals. So a good start for Team Skyfire, boys, along with Harabi Kebab Shop getting a win over Creators of the Meme Museum, and Abyss already taking out Training Bots. Just got Avant and Team Renascent and Aftermind and Masterminds GC left. We'll take a short break here on Gamestar TV1. We'll be back shortly with the Spring Series qualifiers in just a couple of minutes.